Inês is originally from Portugal. She's an owner of Inês Martins Design, an interior design firm based in Miami. It's known for its modern and tranquil interiors with a focus on the art of living in harmony, allowing good energy to flow in every space created. She believes in new ways of creating harmony and balance in a home, working with emotions through design, producing a high impact of positive energy into the lives of her clients. We go through various stages of life, love, family, health, business, and relationships, sometimes without giving careful thought to transitioning our home. Inês believes our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. To fully embrace and attract the life we desire, our surroundings must also change to connect. So I'll bring in Inês, and I hope you enjoy this really fruitful conversation. Welcome, Inês.
Hi, thank you for inviting me, Emily. And we are now also on live on Instagram. So at the same time, we have Instagram and Facebook.
Perfect. Hello, everybody.
Yes, if you can join me on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm trying. Here we go. All right.
Hi, everyone from Instagram. We are, okay, I see you joined. You, okay, go live. Yes, so we are currently doing a video on Facebook and Instagram and with Emily. Yes, here you are, Emily. Thank you. So yes, so Emily was studying. She already did the introduction, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's amazing to be here with you, always talking about this conversation that we love, right?
Yes, definitely. So I'd love to start out and ask you, do you have a story of where you started for the new version of blending interior design and spirituality?
Yes. So I was always, as everybody knows, I was always very much into business and self-development and becoming a better person and a very, very curious person all the time. So when through the journey of self-discovery, I understood that I had this passion within me to also help others. So I was always that person that would go to every single workshop and really invest on myself. I think I invested so much on myself. I would go to every single seminar and always, always improving myself and always being trying to get my mind focused and trying to work on mind, body, heart, but the spiritual side was very much left kind of on the side. So when I understood that by working on my own spirit and integrating that with my business was really where the shift started, and yeah, that was the biggest shift I had in my life, and I could not include that on my business. So I kind of created a service where I can explain you a little later, where I include both, and that's really who I am today, and yeah, who I became and what I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, nice. So I know you've mentioned before through your Instagram stories, through your talks, that you've had this journey of expressing your voice and becoming a public speaker. You've talked in many different talks around Miami and even internationally, which is so cool. Mm-hmm. So how have you strengthened your ability to communicate and express yourself?
Yeah, so it was interesting about the public speaker. I was always a very shy kid. I was always the one to, like, I would never raise my hand. I was always very afraid of sharing my word. But because I'm very curious, I did my numerology and I got into a little bit of numerology. And I understood that one of my numbers in numerology was the number 5, which is my month. And number 5 was my personality, and I understood the strength of a number 5 is communication, and that whatever I have, whatever skill I have, was going to be shared with the world through communication. So when I understood that, I really focused on that, and I practice and practice and practice. I mean, I started with like small videos, small live videos, and I remember the first video I was really scared, and I just shared like a couple of words. It was terrifying, but really after practice and practice and practice, this kind of became easier and easier. And I got that my power is really on my word, and how can I not share this with the world, right?
Yeah, it's so true.
Mm-hmm.
I think also what I've seen is once we start talking, it's hard to stop because you're like, oh, I have so much more to share. I just want to tell everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when it's something to help the other, to inspire someone else to live a better life. So that's really my passion. So I would just go on and on and on. Yeah.
Do you have any practices or mantras that you use that help you gain the courage to share your voice?
Yes, well, in the beginning, I had to create this mantras for myself where I would repeat over and over and over. For example, like I would wake up and just go over like this little card that I'll write for myself. I don't have any here now, but I would just write like, I am powerful, my voice matter. I I am strong, I am authentic, and all this like repetition kind of allowed my mind and myself to integrate those words and really believe in it. And I really like saw the shift within like a couple of months of practicing. um and yeah, I think that's what like the biggest shift I found on myself was like through the repetition and powerful words. And actually, I remember doing this like checking on YouTube, like powerful words. I would just listen them over and over and over. There's like these little videos for like 2-3 minutes. I remember going to bed and just listening to those, because once you integrate that on yourself, I mean, it's just such a shift. Like you become a lot more, um, you become a lot more like ready to share with the world. And yeah, so I did a lot of that.
Yeah, that's cool. I have used Insight Timer for meditation in the morning. And there's this one guy that I follow. He has these affirmations. And it's just incredible to sit 15 minutes and listen to these positive words like, I am strong, I am smart, I am living with a purpose. And it really does shift you inside. So, yeah, I believe that.
I think everybody should do that. You guys watching on Instagram, if you put your camera a little higher on Instagram, on your phone, this is a tip that everybody should use. Really, like because sometimes we feel like, yeah, you know, I know, even for self-love, I know I'm strong, but just going over and over through this repetition in your mind, and actually there's some powerful trick when you say it out loud and when you say it in front of the mirror, because you are saying it to yourself, right? It is so powerful.
Yeah, nice. So tell us about a morning or an evening routine that you have that helps you be successful.
Yes, so definitely meditation. In the morning, I get out of bed. Before anything else, I sit down, and I have a special room for my meditation. I've shared some on my videos. I stick to at least 45 minutes of my own time. Sometimes goes into an hour and a half. The longer, the more connected I get. I started in the very beginning. I started with 15 minutes. It does allow to quiet the mind. However, I understood through time and through my own practice, nobody told me this, but I understood that sitting, it doesn't have to be like in pure silence meditation, but like sitting with yourself about at least half an hour really shifts the entire day. Because like sometimes what I do, not only meditation, sometimes my mind starts to race like nonstop. What we call monkey mind, and there's days that it's not as easy to quiet the mind. So sometimes what I do is I put some music and I just go on and do some movements. Sometimes I feel like this powerful goddess and I start to dance really strong and big movements. Sometimes I just go with the flow and really dance softly. So it really depends. Whatever day you feel, some days you're going to feel like something that fits you more. But the most important thing I would say to everybody that is watching us is to not get frustrated if there's one day that the mind doesn't stop. That is 100% normal. And when we talk about meditation, it is like, as you know, it is not a one-way street that everybody must do a certain way. It kind of like everybody should adapt to however they feel better. But yeah, with myself, my own routine, I would say meditation. um, I do movements and I do my singing bowls. You know, you do
Yeah.
singing bowls as well. It's so amazing, the sound. I feel like it just the vibration of it just really gets into your body, and you can tell us a little about that, right? It's just so divine, right?
Hmm. For me, because sometimes I'll just stop and I'll play a bowl in the middle of the day,
Yeah.
and it's like all time stops, and you're just focused on that with the sound, and you let it trail all the way to the very end, and that's the moment where like chaos doesn't exist and you can be one. So
Yeah.
that's what I love. But yeah, I mean, I follow you, and I don't know if it's daily or just periodically throughout the month. I'll see you playing, and
Yeah.
just being with it is such a nice, beautiful, sacred moment.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave on your Instagram. Just try and do a little, yeah, because sometimes you get cut. Or just do a little your camera a little more tilted. Um, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. On my morning routines, there's days that especially those busy days, that I can't. Not that I can't, but I just race out of the house, and there's not a chance to meditate. Um, it doesn't happen very often. I really, really focus on having at least a moment during the day. If I don't meditate in a day, I try and do it at least in the evening, because I know it is such a difference. I mean, if I go through the day without meditating, I know I feel it. I feel it on my decisions. I feel it on the flow of the day. Because meditation to me really allowed me um, it kind of reminds me of who I am and my purpose and why I'm here for. And there's a secret, there's a magic on quieting the mind, so you don't kind of hearing the ego outside of you, and you kind of go within. And one thing that I'm just going to share with you really briefly, that I found out not long ago, because you meditate as well. A lot of people meditate, and we all say meditation is going within. And I would always focus my meditation and look into the third eye, and focus on in the middle of the forehead. But lately, I've been trying this, going within and looking into my chest, into my like heart area. And it's been a shift. It's been a shift, really. I've never tried that before, and nobody ever told me that before. It was always about look within, look within. But looking within and really seeing what's going on in here, it was mind blowing to me. Such a shift, really, like amazing. Have you tried?
Yeah, actually, after one of the weekends that we spent together meditating, I had that shift of thought. So for about a month, I purely focused on my chest area of
Wow.
really connecting, here's my heartbeat, here's some, my heartbeat can flow over, but it's not as strong. This is my area. And then that evolved into, with the chakras, sometimes I'm intuitively, all right, I'm just breathing into my throat. I feel my throat. So it depends on how I'm feeling intuitively, and I focus solely on that moment, on that piece of my body. And one of these guided meditations that I do, he'll say, breathe in and breathe out through your heart. And I see it and I feel it. And then when I do my sound bowl meditations, it's like the energy comes down and then I breathe it out through the heart. So I'm like sending love out. Yeah. So yeah, I've tried it. I love it. Everybody should do it.
Yeah, definitely should try that as well. And it's just that, you know what? I feel like sometimes we just take the words for granted and we just say, oh, just breathe in through your nose and breathe out through through your heart. And it's just like, if we don't really pay attention to the word and really like look within and kind of like, okay, let me see how I feel, instead of being in the mind, okay, what I'm supposed to do, what am I like, what should I see? And a lot of people is like, okay, I'm not feeling anything. People write to me and be like, oh, I love your meditation practice, but I'm not feeling anything. And it's not about feeling, really. It's not about seeing, it's not about visualizing, it's just about being and sitting with yourself. Sometimes you feel something, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just understand that your mind doesn't stop racing. And that's the point. Okay, my mind is going on and on and on, and this means because I'm stressed, maybe I need to slow it down, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And every experience can be different. So depending on where you are internally, where things are externally, it could be meditation is just simply being and just allowing time to be a little bit slower. Or yeah, you could be processing something that's going on in life, or feeling the body and just connecting with the body. So yeah, there's a million different ways that you can experience meditation, as well as practice it. So yes. Yeah, and I think when we see the picture of people meditating, it's that classic image, and people have trouble, like, what is it within that's going on? We just see that external image and make assumptions on things, but it's a limitless thing that we can experience. So
yes, that's the word, limitless experience, exactly.
Yeah. So you talked a little bit about going within, and I'd love for you to elaborate a little bit for how you strengthen your connection with your intuition, because I know you're very much in tune with yourself, what your body, heart, soul desire.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna be honest, in the beginning, I used to tell myself, this was probably 7 years ago, I used to tell myself, no, I don't have a good intuition. No, I don't feel it. No, it's not me. This is you. It's not me. And I understood the power of the words that I was saying. I'm like, what? Even if I feel something, I'm already cutting it. I'm already canceling whatever I'm feeling. So I started to practice the opposite. I'm like, my intuition is skyrocketing. Like, I feel it, I see it. It is amazing. I trust my intuition, because this is something we all have, this intuition, right? But the more we understand it and the more we get to know ourselves, the more we can work with it. So with myself was really to quieting my mind, because the ego would come very fast, or like the logical mind. I was a very logical person. I would be like, if I don't see it, if I don't feel it in my hands, if I don't see it with my eyes, I don't believe in it. So I had to do a lot of reprogramming. And when I told you I've been working on myself, it really means a lot of, at least, well, all my life, but at least the past 80 years, I've been really reprogramming completely. Now I do understand my intuition is my first tool that I use for everything, and even for my business. So apart from the mantras that I create to empower my own intuition, one trick that I say, and we can even tell the people that are watching us, is to close your eyes and and cross your legs. Just take a couple of breaths just to calm down the mind. Put your hand in the heart and just ask the question out loud or in your mind. So whatever I feel like it, perhaps is it a good purchase if I buy this home? And that first answer that comes into your mind, it comes from your heart, it comes from your intuition. So your heart, it will give you the answer that is best for you. But the second answer will come from the mind, the ego, which will come along with many other reasons and logical reasons, and perhaps no, but the other house is cheaper, or but the other house has a better view, but maybe this works better. So this is the mind, right, the logical side. But really our heart is what gives us a much faster and aligned answer to what we need at the moment. So I tell that to everybody. Just ask your heart first. Don't try and make it so logical. So yeah, now my intuition is my best tool. I use it for business. It's gonna rain very soon in Miami. Can you hear it? It's so dark outside. So yeah, how can I not empower my own intuition? It is my best friend. It's here to guide me everywhere I go. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great. What I've experienced for myself is lately that voice in the back of my head is very strong. So even if I'm doing something silly where I'm talking to a friend and she's asking me questions like, where do you want a vacation? And I just have something, it sounds so strange, but I'm like, this is the only thing that I can think about right now. I don't know why. So let me just say it, and then maybe other things will happen. And I feel like that's my intuition, is just yelling at me. Like, all right, we just want to put it out there.
Yes. And trusting that, just trusting the little voice inside. And sometimes it doesn't sound logical, and sometimes it's like, oh, why? Or sometimes it will tell you no. And because we don't listen to that, and then we just say, oh no, it might be rude to say no, or might be, it might sound wrong to the other person. We go against our intuition, and so that will create a not so good result for you, or you doing something that you do not want to. So definitely always listening to your intuition.
Mm-hmm. And also, if we ignore it repeatedly or we think that it's wrong repeatedly, then we get confused as to what am I intuitively knowing versus what is the false. So yeah, training to trust and believe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So my next question is about being versus doing. So I know you've talked a lot about it, especially in the past couple of months. So how has your life shifted when you focus less on doing and achieving and more on being?
Wow, you have no idea. It's been a transformation. I used to be a doer. I had this very, and I say this because I know there's a lot of people out there, especially women. We are raised in such a strong way. I have this masculine side of me that says you must achieve, you must get it done, and of course that helps us a lot. Especially with me, I opened up my business and I wanted to become very successful, and I had all these goals, but I was working mainly with my masculine energy, which helped me in a lot of senses. But from about 3 years back, I was told that, why don't you embrace your feminine side as well? And how funny, I would look at myself and be like, what do you mean? I look pretty feminine. I love to dress up well. I love to look pretty. I'm very feminine, but it was not really that wasn't the meaning. The meaning was, embracing our feminine side, our feminine energy is to embrace the the creativity, just the being who we are instead of the doing. The doing is very much masculine, and the feminine is more allowing it to come, receiving. That took a long time for me to understand. It was very much like, what do you mean staying here and waiting for it? But shifting it, it created a big change in my life, really, because I had first changed my way of thought. I'll no longer think that I must do in order to get, or in order to be approved, or in order for others to see me. It became more like, I know who I am, and I understand my values, and I am a creative goddess, and creativity comes to me easy, and I flow through life without having to work so hard. And I understood that working really hard took me into a very stressful life, very stressful work environment, and especially, in interior design. I even had, I used to have very much a construction business, and it was really tough. It was very masculine, and I was involved with that, and I would get at home and not be able to sleep with so much stress and worries and issues happening. So now I'm very different. I am a much more being than doer. And I allow things to happen right now. And the more I allow, the more abundance I feel I have. And I understood that, the power of manifestation. The
Mhm.
power, I like to teach that to everybody, because sometimes doing less, not sometimes, always doing less in a smarter way and manifesting it. Like, I know I deserve this, putting the standards out there. My intention is this, and just letting it flow. You have to always give a little step towards it, but not a let me get it done now, and putting it in your long to-do list. So just being with it and knowing that it will come to you, you will attract it. So I'm a lot more relaxed because of that. My lifestyle has changed so much. I will encourage everybody to do that.
Takes a lot of trust.
Yes, a lot of trust.
Yeah. Right now, what is your current mission or focus?
So I've been in a huge transformation. If people have seen me lately, I not only just share about interior design. I now have been embracing my spirituality, and merging that into my business a lot. So really, my mission right now is to help people live a more harmonious life, because I felt like I went through my process, and I figured it out, and I know how it feels to live a stressful life, to live like we must conquer, and in order to be successful we must do. So I kind of want to share this with everyone. And by working with my clients in their homes and creating this harmonious space in their home, so they can live in harmony and they can live in a balanced, beautiful home, I understood, and I understood there was a need for them to also integrate that within themselves. It's not only enough to have a beautiful home. I mean, how many people come to my house and be like, "Oh, it's so calm, so peaceful." Yes, it is peaceful, but I also had to work on myself, and you also will feel that vibration within me. So allowing my clients to feel that way, as well as in the house, but really feeling and living this life in more harmony. So what I do now, I have this service that I was telling you, that I come to the client's home, and it's a lot of fun, and we kind of go over the spaces. I give tips about the layout, the furniture, and how to create a layout that is more in harmony, that flows easier, the energy is better, and what elements is it missing in the space. So I go through tips in interior design, and now I also include stuff that we can incorporate in order to live a more harmony, a life in more harmony, in a more harmony way. So for example, we create a practice in the morning so they can follow maybe meditation. So I come up and do the sound healing for the house as well, to clean the energy of the house. And I incorporate the cards, the angel cards, that always gives the client like a nice, straightforward message of whatever they need to hear at that moment. I include a little bit of numerology because I found it so amazing for my own life, like understanding my numbers and understanding my purpose. It was all on the numbers, so I incorporated a little bit of that as well. And yeah, so all that within a 2-hour service. My clients just get in a very peaceful state. They love it, and it's fun, and it's kind of like a two-way street, and it is face to face, right? Or online. But I feel like people understand really what is to be living like a nice lifestyle where they don't have to stress so much and rush so much, and really have like a home design with intention, and a life that really reflects who they are, and not just whatever rushing and going to work without having a purpose.
Great. Cool. Well, thank you for sharing everything about you, all of your passions and excitements. Is there anything else that you'd like to leave the viewers with?
Well, let's see if there's any questions.
We did get a lot of support from our dear friends, so we want to give them a huge shout out.
Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Seeing a lot of people on Instagram as well. Thank you so much to support us. And the only thing that I would say really is to always follow your heart. Make decisions with your heart first, and then consult your mind if it works, if it doesn't, but follow your heart. There's so many people out there, they feel like they are not giving enough to this world, and they're not living their true purpose life, right? So I would say to really, because once you do that, you kind of set the standard for your family to also live a purpose life, and sets the standards for your friends to also have the courage to follow their passion. I love to talk about this.
We do have a question from Edwin.
Oh, Edwin.
Hello, Edwin. Hi, what would you like to add to your life and space now?
What was the question?
What would you like to add to your life and space now?
I might have to answer that in private. What I would like to add? Do you want to start with that? Is that something you want to answer, Emily?
Do I want to start with that answer?
Yeah, do you want to share what you would like to add?
Well, in a material way, I don't have any plants in my home, so I would love to add plants to my house to bring some more greenery and nature inside.
Yes. And you know how amazing that is, right?
Yeah. Like, so great for your health, mentally, physically. Yes. But also, I don't have any pets or plants, so I don't take care of anything except for my business and myself. So I think it would be great to talk to plants again. I used to have a bunch of plants.
Yes.
So
and the energy of the house, because it is a living being. So in a house, it moves the energy, and a pet as well. A pet. I mean, everybody knows I have a cat. Yes. So he kind of goes into every single corner, and it just unstucks the energy that it might be in certain corners that we don't use every day. So it's amazing. I love the idea of the plants.
Yeah.
What about in your life?
Um, hmm. I don't know the answer to that one. I guess more fun. More fun is always important. Oh, okay. Here's what I would add. Um, my life in terms of activity is quite narrow, where it's like working, yeah, friends, myself. So one thing I will be adding very soon to my life is a new hobby. I don't know what it's going to be, but a hobby where I meet different people that I'm not used to with my current social group. So that's my
I
main.
can give you a few tips.
Yeah.
I've been rollerblading, and I have the most amazing time. Sometimes I go on my own, and I just like meet these people on the street and just laugh and just have so much fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see what I would add. I would definitely add. I always open for more love,
Mm-hmm.
so more connections, connecting with more, people that are on the same path as us, making our soul family bigger. And in terms of material, so I'm manifesting this. I'm gonna put it out there into the world. I'm manifesting this amazing, beautiful home. I have already an amazing home, but I feel like I feel like I wanted to be more grounded. And so perhaps a home with a nice, very large garden with a lot of trees where I can hug the trees and talk to the trees and maybe have like events in the backyard and do like gatherings with soul family and look at the ocean. Yeah, I think I'm manifesting that to the world, guys. If someone knows an amazing home, somewhere in the world, it can be Miami, it can be outside. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
So our second question is, are there certain colors to add to a home for harmony?
Who's asking that question?
Constance.
Yes. Hi, Constance. Yes. So, for example, in a bedroom, depending on each area of the house, for more harmony and balance in a bedroom, I will definitely use neutral colors, because we in a bedroom we like to create this energy of tranquility, so we have a good night's sleep. We can always add, if you are the kind of person that likes to add pop of colors, we can do like maybe on the pillows, some like dark purple, or I wouldn't say red, but yeah, dark purple, just to create a more loving energy of like love and passion into the bedroom. Yeah. So neutrals and pops of colors.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's all of our questions. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy that we were able to make this happen.
Thank you so much, Emily. This was amazing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And if you have any more questions later on, you can always ask us. I'm always on Instagram and Facebook, but more on Instagram. Follow me and support and say, share any comments you have. Thank you so much, Emily. I love this time with you.
Thank you. Have a great evening, everybody.
You too. Bye, everyone.